Hello and welcome to e-GMAT. We will solve question number 45 of OG Verbal second edition by using e-GMAT three-step process. In the first step, we will understand the meaning of the sentence. In the second, we will evaluate the errors in the sentence. And finally, we will review all the answer choices to get to the correct answer. So let's begin. Under high pressure and intense heat, graphite, the most stable form of pure carbon, changes into the substance commonly referred to as diamond and remaining this way whether or not the heat and pressure are removed. Now, this sentence presents a few facts. It says that graphite is the most stable form of pure carbon. Under high pressure and intense heat, it changes into diamond. Once turned into diamond, it remains that way even if heat and pressure are removed. Now let us evaluate the errors by splitting this sentence into its clauses. So here comes the first clause. Under high pressure and intense heat, graphite, the most stable form of pure carbon, changes into the substance commonly referred to as diamond and remaining this way. Here graphite is the subject and changes is the verb. Presence of whether or not tells us we have another clause here that reads whether or not the heat and pressure are removed. Here the heat and pressure are the subjects and are removed is the verb. Now, this sentence presents general facts about graphite, so all the information that it must give out must be written in simple present tense, such as changes. Since after it has turned into diamond, it remains that way only, is a fact about graphite. Remaining should also be written as remains. So we certainly have verb tense error here. Also, there are two things happening to graphite. It changes into the substance and it remains this way. So, remains and changes should be parallel to each other. But what we have in this sentence is remaining, which is verb ing, and changes, that's a verb. So, this leads to the parallelism error in this sentence. Also, the expression whether or not fails to communicate that even if heat and pressure are removed, graphite continues to be a diamond after it has turned into one. So this leads to the idiom error in this sentence. So let's run the POE to find out which answer choice fixes these errors. Well, choice A certainly does not, as we discussed just now. Choice B repeats the same verb tense and parallelism errors as in choice A. Also, use of even as is incorrect in this sentence because it communicates the sense of simultaneity of actions. Per the original sentence, the sense should be that when heat and pressure are removed or even after heat and pressure are removed, graphite remains to be diamond. So these errors make choice B incorrect. Choice C again repeats the very same errors as in choice A and hence is incorrect. In choice D, the usage of although is not correct because it distorts the intended meaning of the sentence. Now, although is used to present a contrast. Two clauses joined by although are generally facts. But this is not the case here. Removal of heat and pressure is just a hypothetical situation here to convey that once turned into diamond, it cannot become graphite anymore even if it's put back into the old situation. Well, let's take a few examples to understand this. When we say although situated in the west coast, San Francisco remains quite cold in summers, this sentence presents two facts about San Francisco. That it is situated in the west coast and that it remains quite cold in summers. The word also, although, brings out this contrast that despite being in the west coast, San Francisco remains cold in summers. What choice D is doing with the usage of although, it's now saying graphite changes to diamond and remains in this way although heat and pressure are removed. Well, grammatically this choice is correct, but logically it is not because the original sentence does not intend to present any sort of a contrast. It just wants to say that once turned into diamond, graphite continues to be one even after heat and pressure are removed. So usage of although brings in this contrast in this sentence, which is not the intended meaning of the sentence, and hence choice D is not correct. Well, we are left only with choice E, and choice E is the correct answer. Notice here that the word thus is not used in the sense of therefore, which we generally do. Here thus stands for in this way, and which is the correct usage of the word. Well, here is the excerpt of a report that appeared in Wall Street Journal, and it reads, "Now the situation is stable, claims Mr. Ginesti. If it remains thus for 2 or 3 years, he said, we can open the cave for research." Now, here the reporter has used the pronoun it for situation, and the reporter says that if it remains thus for 2 or 3 years, meaning that if the situation remains in this way, that is stable, for 2 or 3 years, Mr. Ginesti said that they could open the cave for research. So, well, this article appeared in Wall Street Journal in 2006. This usage of thus in the sense of in this way is not very common, but certainly it is not incorrect. It can be used to mean in this way. So this makes choice E the correct answer for this sentence. Time to take a look at the takeaway messages. All the entities in the list pertaining to parallelism must be logically as well as grammatically parallel to each other. Also, the general facts must be written either in simple present or past tense depending upon the context of the sentence. Words such as although, present, contrast, so they must be used to present the intended contrast in the sentence. The concepts tested in this sentence have been covered in e-GMAT concepts level 1 parallelism identify and correct and level 1 parallelism helpful tips.